This is me trying to move along. I have a better way to move along. Jody, move along.
Yes, how about I do that for you?
So one of the things is when you go down, let's say you're in doing these roofing. Let's look at Atlanta House Painter. If you look at Atlanta House Painter, you'll notice that
they all have pictures.
A listing here with a picture.
Here,
a listing
if I do
here
that
with a picture. Yeah, that will work. A listing here. Here's a picture. 100 reviews. More reviews. 100 reviews. 100 reviews over here. Now,
why do you think that house painters in Atlanta have so many reviews and have so much stuff on their Google Places? Why would that be?
Yeah. There's a side note. If Mike Koenig says, hey, here's a suggestion, do house painters, that would be a suggestion. Don't do house painters. Every person in America is now doing house painters. So, but if you go up and you see pictures and reviews and you see, that's a category that's no longer viable. And considering only 3% of Google Places are even claimed right now, it's a wide open field. And why are you going to go fighting for house painters, which is probably not the most difficult market if it wasn't for every person in America is going after them because Mike said, hey, that's an easy market. He made it a hard market. That's a market to skip. Look at roofers. Roofers make more money than painters, and was sitting in Atlanta. You can pick them off one at a time. So,
you ready to move forward? Let's take a look at, I'm trying.
So let's say it's flowers.
There we go.
So let's say we did Tampa flowers. We just picked another random thing. Flower shops. There's another competitive market, flowers, in pretty much any city and any town. There's 12,800,000 results for Tampa flowers. It's a pretty, purple pen, nice. It's a pretty competitive market. And again, all these boxes over here have, they're all full everywhere. You've got, 3 reviews, some reviews over here, but it's not the hardest thing in the world. And so in a city with a full list, 12,800,000 results.
Surely the first person on Google here has got all this done, right?
Well, of course they must. Let's take a look.
Look at that.
Get out of town.
Somebody
By the way, and we didn't rig this to go, hey, let's go find a highly competitive market with what? This is the first one we looked at.
Yeah.
Okay? This is the first, we said, let's go look at Tampa flowers and whatever it was.
But promise you, I didn't want to pick anything that had West Palm Beach or Palm Beach Gardens because everyone would go, well, why don't y'all go do that? It's because we're so busy that we want to make sure that we have it set up so that you can go do that.
Seriously. So this is still not owner verified. It's got a bunch of reviews. It's got photos. I'm sure it doesn't have videos, or it's very unlikely to have videos. So what's the situation over here? The same thing. They probably want, what's the value of being first place on Google? Well, these people probably want to keep their first place listing. Next page.
It's trying.
So let's take a look at the second place. What happened here? Again. Not owner verified. What's up with these people? Not owner verified. 3 reviews, no photos, no videos. Now place number 2, 12 million results, 12 million page results. And, there are people on page 2, page 3, page 4 would love to be in the top 7. And the downtown florist is like, we won't even bother listing our florist shop. We're fine just the way we are.
Right. So for someone like this, postcard would say, you're in danger of losing your first page Google ranking with Google Maps. Now, there's another way you can go. And some people don't feel great about sending that negative type of postcard out, or call, and that's okay. I wonder what would happen if we went to the person that's on the 7th place on Google. And if they've got 9 reviews, that they see some value and there's a little bit of information there. What if they got a postcard and said, hey, as you're in danger of dropping off of out of the 7th place, how would you like to be moved up on the Google Maps? And that way you're framing it in a more positive light. So that's another way of getting that. So if you don't want to go after the top 1, 2, or 3, you go after number 7, and they'll see that they want to be number 1. What do you think?
Right, and exactly. And I mean, number 7, it's easier to move up because they've already got a spot. So it's not like you don't know what's going on and they're somewhere down there and you don't know how far down there they are. 7 has enough things that are going correctly. So if you, again, add photos, get more reviews, get some videos going, and
Now,
again, we gave
if
you
they
the
don't have
list.
videos, how would they get those?
Man, how could they get videos? Well, obviously, with Traffic Geyser, you can use the videos. You can make them. They show you specifically how to do them. Plus, we're going to end up showing you in our program how to make videos, how to distribute videos so that they get ranked and seen and get links and all the different things. And so that you get value for these and get value for your clients and get an overwhelming presence online to help them with their Google Places.
Cool. We got a question that came in and said, how would you go about an example of how you would talk to these clients? So do you want to do that, or do you want me to field that one?
Go for it.
All right. And the way I talk to our
Say,
clients, yeah.
I'm saying, I'm glad you asked. Here's
Right.
Jody.
Right. The way I go about doing this, and it's the way I go about doing, whether I'm doing this with when I'm doing it with one client, a client that we're going to sell an entire package to, or sell something with where it's just Google Places, I really have the same conversation. And I start off by asking them some basic questions. And with this case, you're sort of being on the offensive a little bit. You're going in there. You're calling them, or you're sending them an email or a postcard. If you just give them a phone call, I'm not really into cold calling, so I probably would be more likely to send out a few postcards and then have them call me. Because whenever they call you, you've got their interest and they're a warm market to you now. And the conversation would go something like this. I go, hi Jody, this is Gandy Florist and Wedding Services. I got your postcard about falling off the first page of Google, and I don't know what can you do? How would that work? I go, you know what, Mr. Gandy or Mrs. Gandy, I'm glad you called. The thing is that you already have some good information out there, and it's obviously been established since 1965. With just a few things, we could possibly put out, some pictures and some videos and a couple of things of getting you listed on like 19 different directories that are all online. Because as we know these days, everyone goes online looking for information. So if you were able to have your information listed in 19 places, so that no matter where they put in Tampa Flowers, whether it was in their car, on their cell phone, or online, or on the computer, that you came up on the first page, what would that do for your business? And that's how I would go about framing that. Now that's kind of a sort of an overview, but I would just ask them that question, and I would also ask them, are they currently doing anything online? Because if they say, well, we'd already hired someone, obviously you could go a different route with the questions. But the main thing is just asking them questions about what it would mean for them to move up. And a lot of times they might not even know they're on the 7th place in Google, or that they're in danger of falling off the first page, because it used to be a 10 box and now it's a 7 box. And in some places, if there's a lot of competition, it's only a 3 box. So it's just basically making them aware of what's available to them, and then putting that. So how much would you, also Eric, we got a thing in here that said you could use some more audio volume. That's the first.
Nice. All right. That's the last time that will happen. That I promise.
Another one that says, how do you get businesses on the top 7 Google Places without verifying their business? There's a lot of different factors that go into it. It could be that they're the closest to the center of town. And it could just be that no one has gone in and verified it yet, and that the information hasn't been put in there. Google has just sort of been changing this recently and sort of let out what's going to matter and what's going to be carrying weight. So you will see some discrepancies there. And just because someone is in a number 1 or 2 spot and they don't, they're not owner verified, doesn't mean they're going to stay there. It just means that they're there for now, and once somebody down below goes in and puts the information together, it's going to bump them on up. I got an email from someone that said that they took the information from the Google Places video, put it to work, and they've already moved the client from like a number 10 spot up to number 7 in like 4 days. So just because they're there with a non-owner verified placement doesn't mean they're going to stay.
Is the question, how do you get them there without owner verifying, or how did they get there?
That's how do you get them? It's hold on, let me get back. How do you get on the top 7 Google Places without verifying their business? They didn't get there; they just happened to be. So that's really the answer. They're just there for now.
Because I can't see the questions.
Right.
Because GoToWebinar's mediocre at best.
All right, I think that, and there was another one. Let's see. The other one is that moving right along. All right. There's some of the questions we'll get to at the end. One of them is that they requested a postcard 3 times for the business verification. That I don't really know. And funny enough, Google doesn't have a phone number you can call and ask those questions. But we haven't had that problem, so I don't really know. But maybe we'll talk offline, and we'll try to see if we can get out an answer to that question. So what's the next slide? I don't remember. Here we go. We click the button. So that's Google Places, and like I said, you have the video. Everyone that's on this call, if you're on here, you probably have had access to our Google Places video, and there's also a spreadsheet for going through that and how to go about ensuring that you put all the content. And this is a great lead-in service. Whenever you do this, they're going to need pictures, they're going to need videos, and you can just really take it from Google Places and build them into an entire campaign for online marketing, where you're doing articles for them, and you're doing Facebook and Twitter, and you can just continue to grow it. Your Google Places is a great foot in the door strategy. So, on how to value your service, those of you who are in the coaching program, you have access to the portal, and in there we have our one-page proposal. We have the social media marketing agreement, the client intake form, the questionnaire, and the 60-day implementation plan, so you can see exactly how we value our services and what it is that we put into the proposal. So with that in mind, whenever it comes to valuing your services, the first thing you want to do is you want to ask questions. And when I ask questions, obviously you're going to be asking general questions about their business and what they're currently doing for marketing. And the thing that keeps them from questioning the value is usually a question like this. And it's sort of back to just what I said with the Google Places. So it doesn't matter if it's Google Places or if it's about making videos. What would having a first place Google listing mean for your business? Now, why would you ask that question? Because here's the thing. You don't know what it would mean for their business. They might not know, but when you ask that question, they're going to tell you what it would mean for their business. And it's just like if somebody says, hey, does this car come in blue? What would your first response be, Eric?
Is blue the color that you're looking for? Right,
because somebody might say, yes, we have blue. Or how many people are in your firm? That's an interesting question. Why do you ask?
Why do you ask?
Some people say, well, if you're a huge firm, I'm just going to be a number, and I don't want to do business with you. If you're too small, I don't know if I'm going to get the service. So you find out why they're asking the question. It's the question behind the question. So, what would having a first-page Google listing mean for your business?
A lot of times, Joe, people will go in and they'll start listing off, well, if you have a top Google listing, you'll get more business, and people will come to you'll make more money, and this will happen, and this will happen, and what that means is that you're making all these promises that you may or may not be able to deliver on. You don't know what the client's values are. You don't know if the client says it. Number one, they're making the promises. They're making the guarantees. They're telling you what's important to them. So you're letting them say what's important. It makes it more valuable to them.
Right.
So, and they have to believe it. It has to be true because they said it.
Right. The other thing that happens when you do this is you want to build in the client get this to click. In a minute, it's going to like 5 or 6 things are going to probably click. Here you go. You want to build a positive expectancy. And that is, you want to build it so they can see themselves with it. And what I mean by with it is with that first page Google listing. Now, and it's not whether it's whether it's the website or a video or Google Places. It doesn't matter at this point. It's just that what does that first page Google listing mean for you? So once they can see themselves with it, you've painted that picture for them. You're framing it for them and future pacing it so that they can see that they've already got it. Then whenever you get ready to leave, you're taking that with you if they don't choose to do business with you, or if they haven't asked you for a proposal. So you want to build that positive expectancy. And whenever you do that, very rarely do you get the question, do you get the objections that we're going to get to in just a second. The next part is they are paying you for your knowledge more than for your time. They're paying you for your knowledge more than for your time. We don't go in and sell, quote unquote, traffic geyser. I know we talked about this last week a little bit. I wanted to go a little bit further with it because someone asked me, so well, won't that upset traffic geyser that you're not promoting traffic geyser? It's not that you're not promoting it. You're just not selling them the traffic geyser service. You're selling them your service. You're selling them your knowledge and the time that you've invested in learning this information to be able to produce the results that you're sharing with them. I was on a recording yesterday with Paul Colligan doing some training videos for Traffic Geyser, and I said that exact same thing when it comes to that positive expectancy and the fact that you're not selling Traffic Geyser. You're selling your ability and your access to proprietary software that can distribute information to hundreds of places online in order to get them to build an overwhelming presence for them. Sometimes they'll ask, is it Tube Mogul? No, it's not Tube Mogul. Sometimes they may know about Traffic Geyser. It seems like 3 people I talked to so far this week asked me about Traffic Geyser. And I said, yes, that's what we use. And I explained the difference in how we use it versus how they might as a regular client use it. So the thing is you're paying you because you took the time to do this. You're not just pushing buttons. You're systematically distributing their information in a way that's going to produce the most positive results for them. And don't overpromise in order to get the contract. I saw not long ago someone saying they had a video saying that they could guarantee. What?
It was in a video they were saying this.
They could guarantee 70% of the first page of Google for any term that the client wanted. I don't know of any term that you can guarantee. I can't guarantee 70% of. I can't guarantee a first page Google listing. I can guarantee that I will do my best utilizing the tools that I have to get something there. And it's like I said on the Traffic Geyser video. I tell them I don't know which video it will be. I don't know which video sharing site it will be. I just know that from the information that we'll put there, it greatly increases their chances of having a first page Google listing for a term relative to their business. And that's exactly how you value it.
70% of running shoes, please.
Yes. All right. So, for instance, I had someone that I was working with in the UK, and I looked at it and I said, here's what you need to frame this for. You need to go out and frame and put the wording together for the term, the name of the city, and eye doctor. They didn't do that. They went and posted it for the name of the city with optometrist. Now, the thing is there are actually more searches every day for eye doctor in this particular city or town than there are for optometrist. So not only there's twice as much competition for optometrist as there is for eye doctor. So not only did he make it harder to find, there's not as many people looking for it. So you can't get caught up in what the client thinks they want to be listed for. You have to help them understand that you need to get them listed for information that people are actually searching for, and it may not be what they think. So, I mean, I had a doctor who wanted to be listed for bioidentical hormone treatment. And I said,
there's so many searches for that.
Well, he seemed to think there were, so he wound up not becoming a client with us. But just don't overpromise, because the thing is, if you help them build that positive expectancy of having a listing on the first page of Google, when you deliver 5 or 6 listings for different terms, not meaning 5 or 6 listings on the first page, although we do have some clients that have 5 or 6 listings on the first page, whenever you show them they have more than one, they feel like you have over-delivered, and that happens for us over and over again. So just don't overpromise on the contract. It will wind up making you miserable, and it'll piss them off because they'll feel like you didn't tell them the truth. So just stay within it. If there's enough clients out there that you don't have to overpromise anything. Did I say that enough times?
So yes, you did.
Great. All right, so the next is, I said I'm going to click this again, how to handle objections. Now, if you've done a good enough job of framing this and doing it in such a way that you've built the value and you've justified your value, and I'm going through here trying to look at these questions, and I don't know how to clear them.
Well,
okay,
I'm laughing because
next time you're
let me read them.
Next time you're in control, okay? All right. So, how to handle objections. The first thing you want to do
on a new system
is you want to ask a qualifying question. Whenever they ask you, or whenever they say something to you, or they ask a question, or they push something out there, a lot of times we go straight into the defense mode. And in this case, you don't want to go into defense mode. You need to ask a qualifying question.
Hey, Jody,
yes.
Can I just jump in for 1 second? If people have questions and you changed it to organizers and panelists only, I could answer the questions while you're talking. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
And where is that?
It's not for you. It's for everybody else.
Oh, thanks.
Continue.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to try to do that, but I will have to worry. I'm going to mute you. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mute you. All right, so how do you ask a qualifying question? A lot of times people get it's too expensive. And if they say it's too expensive, there's a very simple question, and that is, okay, compared to what? What is expensive compared to? And a lot of times they just throw that out as the objection. And you don't have to say it quite that short. It can be, okay, I hear what you're saying. Just have a quick question. Too expensive compared to what? Because, I mean, is it too expensive compared to the fact that they're doing nothing right now? Is it too expensive compared to what they're paying for a Yellow Pages ad? What is it compared to what? And that will get them talking and kind of help, and will help uncover what the real objection is, because it's too expensive is just a brush off. The next objection that we hear is, go ahead.
Let's go back to that, or it's within both of these. When it comes to it's too expensive, isn't it oftentimes they come in, you're talking to them about social media, you're talking to them about video marketing, you're talking to them about things that maybe they haven't really considered before, so they don't have a price gauge. So it's too expensive is when you don't have something to compare it to, whatever you say is too, you could say $500, $200, $2,000, $20,000. They don't know what to compare it to, so they have to come back. It's too expensive. So isn't it almost a defense mechanism to be prepared for?
Right. So and the more you prepare for it, the more you get ready for the objection, the less you're going to hear it. The more you fear the objection, guess what they're going to ask you every time? Guess what they're going to push out there every time? So if it's too expensive, compared to what? And that will help you. It'll help put you in a posture. The other thing they say is, I can't afford it right now. And the answer how I rebut that is, okay, what has to happen for you to be able to afford it in the future? Because guess what has to happen? Typically, they need to get more business. And whenever you ask it in that way, it kind of makes them stop for a second and step back and look at, what does have to happen? And what has to happen is they have to get more cash coming into their business. And then they tell you what the answer is going to be. So if you look at what is going to happen in order for you to afford that in the future, well, we're going to have to get a couple more clients. Okay, well, what will you have to do to make that happen? And obviously, they're going to have to do some type of marketing. They're going to have to do something in order to reach out to their clients. And if you notice, both of these have spun it back to where it's coming back to the fact that you have a solution that can help them, put them in a position that they can afford it right now. Because really, they cannot afford not to do it right now. That's one of the reasons that when I went from being a business coach and kind of transitioned from that into doing marketing for people is because I always found again and again and again that a lot of these business owners were having trouble getting clients in the door. So I was able to change my focus from worrying about turning them into a CEO to turn them into where they had a positive cash flow, trying to get it so that they actually had something out there that was going to attract people to them and bring people into their business. So Just ask those questions. What will, and that doesn't mean that every time you get the objection, they're just going to brighten up, see it, and see the light and say, okay, I get it. I need to do this here. Please let me do this. But it does give you some things to be posturing with and to be able to ask. And we're going to get into a little bit next week. We're having a national sales trainer that's a friend of ours that's going to be talking more specifically on exactly some of these topics.
Well,
next,
I want to get into, hang on, what's really critical for everybody is that you have answers for when they come back and with these challenges, because the fact of the matter is that it's not a matter of if they're going to say something like, I can't afford it right now, or it's too expensive, or whatever it is. It's if they say this and you have nothing to respond with, then I can't afford it right now. And you go, oh, okay, see you later. I mean, it's not a matter of that. They're just kind of, it's almost like a test, and they're testing you.
Yeah.
And so it's more, and it's not even a conscious test. They're not sitting there going, I'm going to go test this person. But they're really saying, when they come up with an objection, what they're saying to you is, you have not yet shown me that the value of your service is worth more than the dollars that you are charging me for that service to take place. And so they're saying, it's too expensive. What they're saying is, prove to me that your service is worth more than the money that you're charging me. I can't afford it right now. Prove to me that your service is worth more than the money that you're paying. That's what objections really are. Prove to me that your service is worth more than the money that you're charging me for it. So how many leads can you guarantee me, Jody?
I can't guarantee you any leads.
What? Are you crazy? Get out of my office. I'm sorry.
All right. I'm sorry. I was reading. I was reading what people were putting. Somebody said it's like dating, dude. Can always overcome an objection. Absolutely. That's exactly what this is like. It's dating. All right. How many leads can you guarantee? I can't guarantee you any leads, and here's the reason why. Why do you think I can't guarantee you any leads? We can guarantee an overwhelming presence online, but we don't on Google, and Eric doesn't like this word, and they don't share their algorithm with us, or they can say they don't really share exactly what their rules are for getting on the first page. Plus, once we get it on the first page, there's no guarantee. There cannot be a guarantee because we don't control what people are actually doing. By having an overwhelming presence, it gives you a higher likelihood of having people come to your business. And at this point, what I kind of explain to them, and I look at what type of business are they in. If it's a painter, for instance, they're like we saw with the Atlanta house painters, obviously they see value in it because they're paying somebody to get their stuff listed with the Google listings. And they're looking for people that are searching for that online. If you look at that as compared to a financial planner, who their clients need to have at least $1 million in order for them to become their client, they aren't necessarily getting clients coming to them by doing a Google search. But I promise you, whenever they do get a referral, that person has gone online and done a Google search for them, for their name, to find out what's out there, what's being said about them, what kind of information are they providing for their other clients. So if that financial planner has an overwhelming presence with videos and articles and a Twitter account with thousands of followers and a Facebook fan page where it's sharing relevant information and information that anyone that gets it can find useful, whether they choose to do business with him or not, it puts him in a much better light. So really, there may not be a lead that comes to him online, but it could be that because of the information, when the referral that comes to him winds up choosing him because of the difference that it's made. It's just not a game that you want to get into. You may get pressured for that. The other thing that they will ask you along that line is, well, why don't you test this out on my business? You're going to get a lot. You don't need to test it out. It works.
It works.
It works. And we tell them, thanks. We get that a lot. And but the thing is that these are the things that we find that having this overwhelming presence is going to greatly increase the likelihood of people finding your business. Also, in the way that we position the information with videos and articles, whenever people see that and they do click and they come to your website, then they come more predetermined and predisposed to take an action whenever they get there. So it's just that the whole framing of all of how you do that. And I mean, I had a discussion with a national client last week that was wanting to know, well, tell me exactly how many leads can you get for me? And I told him, I can't tell you that. I don't know. I cannot promise you a number of leads. This isn't pay-per-click advertising where I can just keep increasing the price until I get people to click. So the more you steer them away from that, and if it gets to the point that they just have to have that, guess what? No is okay. It's okay that's not a fit. Look, if that's what you have to have, anyone that does social media that tells you they can promise that for you, they're not being straightforward with you. I'm just going to have to tell you that for me, this isn't a fit. And you have to be
It's
willing
not
to
only
do that.
It's what if their website's not good? You're not in charge of that. What if they get the lead and it comes in because they make a phone call? What if the person answering the phone doesn't do a good job of transferring the call? You can't. There's so many factors you can't be in charge of or control or even track, that to start guaranteeing things is so out of the realm of your control that to guarantee it becomes not a good idea.
Exactly. There's a question on here that says, how do you use TrackGeyser differently than other people? And here's the thing. I don't use it differently than the other people, and other people being the people on this call. You all have access. You all have social media marketing machines. You have a different level of service available to you than other people do. Because, I mean, you have the Submission 2.0 available to you for submitting your articles and for submitting videos, and the tracking is much better. So what happens a lot of times is when people do the $1 trial for Traffic Geyser and they even upgrade to the $99 version, they still don't have a lot of the tools and the know-how of how to go in and utilize this, that someone like us being you inclusive with the social media marketing machines package. They don't have all of the back office and the BizBox information to utilize to put together. So they just take it and they push it out there how they think it might work, but they don't necessarily have the right skill set in order to be able to put it in general. And we're going to have an entire session exactly on how to go about doing the titling and tagging in order to get the best results, because there is a method to it. And our project manager, Tracy, I think she's on the call right now, has got this down to an exact science as to, she can just about predict what you're going to see when. And she does a phenomenal job with that. And we're going to kind of go through and help you with some of and a lot of times it may have to do with words that you're not even thinking about. So we're going to go into detail with what you can do with just changing 2 or 3 words in a title that can make all the difference on whether they show up for you or not. And we've had a lot of success with that. The next thing, as far as, there was one other thing that we've talked about, and it was about how to go out and make money right now. And it's a video that we were going to play for you. However, because of the streaming doesn't work very well, we're going to send everyone that's on here a link to the video so that you can watch that.
I'm glad you said that. It is got 1 more minute. It'll be up on our Facebook fan page in less than a minute.
Great. So
I thought I could stall 1 more minute and then it'd say it's done, but it's been about 1 minute left for about upload complete.
right. And someone else put on here,
don't leave the webcast.
Do you ever integrate pay-per-click as an option? We actually don't do pay-per-click. We do some Facebook ads. Another on here was, does the newspaper guarantee leads? And that was from Jeff. And no, I don't think that they guarantee you leads either. They tell you how many readers they have, and they tell you how many eyes are going to be on your information, but I don't think they tell you how many people are going to pick up the phone and give you a call. With Monster Follow-Up, how can you use Monster Follow-Up, Eric, in the 10-minute here?
I'm glad you asked. So as I'm trying to do both things at once, I'm just going to hit save. Then there's no description. It just gets it the way it is. Oh, notify me when it's done processing. And back to videos. Okay. So there's a bunch of different ways. First of all, you could use it for restaurants and bars, because Jody didn't put this up in the order I was going to say, but I'm just going to go by the way the pictures show up on the screen. You can use it for, I pause as the next thing goes up.
Or
you want me to give better examples? You can use it if you have speakers. You could use it if you have trade shows. You can use it if you have retail establishments. A lot of people don't realize that how awesome Monster Follow-Up is. And I'm going to go into it for a few minutes and kind of get here's the cool part. I don't even know how to program it. Jody's been doing all the monster follow-upping, and I've been doing all the videoing for it. But monster follow-up is like an autoresponder on steroids. If you are familiar with an autoresponder, or even if you're not, basically an autoresponder is the services that collect your emails and send those automated emails out to people. So not only does it send emails periodically, or news, or a regular autoresponder will send broadcast emails like you might have received for, say, a webcast that you might be on, but it also could send newsletters and stuff like that. But this one also, but the challenge with emails is only 20% of emails even get read. Over 80% of the emails either go to people's trash, or people delete them without even opening them. The cool thing about Monster Follow-Up is it integrates text. If someone gets a text message, they look at their text messages immediately. If your phone beeped right now, you'd stop listening to me and you'd immediately look at your phone. Not just you, everybody. So text stops what people are doing and you immediately look at it. So if you can get people to give you so it collects people's information by text, so you could text your name and email, and it will collect and gather data. And then it will then email people, or it can text people. And what happens is, if you start thinking out of the box on ways people can use this, it's awesome. So you can use it as a business card. So we'll give you an example. The video it should be up any minute now. But we give you examples of how to use it as a business card. If you're a speaker from a stage and you want to collect 100 people's emails, instead of standing in the back of the room or throwing a fishbowl out saying, let me get your business card, you could say, if you'd like, just text your name and email to this number and you can collect it. Imagine a retail establishment. You go to a lead capture page, or they text their name and email in, or whatever, and you could say, oh, we'll email you a quote, and then they could text you when it's ready, and there's awesome ways you can use it like that. At a trade show, instead of dropping business cards in a bowl, they text their name and email, and now you have their text. Now you can text them when you need them. We talked about examples for a restaurant. Let's say you had a restaurant, and or a bar, and they said, okay, text your name and email, and you get a 2-for-1 drink, or 10% off your bill, or whatever it was. Now they collected all the names of people that participated. One of the things that Monster Follow-Up does, it does a ton of different things that we didn't get into yet, but it gets a social influence score. And what that means is it goes through all the different social networking sites and see who's the most active, who has the most friends, who participates the most. So of all the people who put their name and email, because remember, all the social media sites are based on your email. So it knows who's on what site, right? So the people who have the highest social influence score at a bar, that would be really beneficial, because not that if people who don't have a high influence don't know a lot of people, but the people who do have a high influence and are patrons of your bar, it would be good to know. And then they could pinpoint those people and say, hey, if you come in this weekend and post it on your Facebook page, we'll give you, a $100 gift certificate. And and then you'd be the people who are the most influential patrons of yours. You can pinpoint those people. I think that's just an awesome way to use it for a bar and restaurant. And in the video, it goes into more detail on how step by step, how you can do that. And one of the things that Jody and I are working on is a step-by-step tutorial on exactly how to program Monster Follow-Up to do for a business card, for speakers, for trade shows, for retail businesses, for restaurants, and a bunch of different ways that you can use it, and step-by-step tutorials on how to exactly get it in so it works for you. You there, Jody?
Yeah,
Right,
I was talking away and I had myself on mute. So now you can hear me. All right. So what I was saying is, one of the things that we're going to do for the people who are either in our group coaching plan or in our private coaching plan is we're going to actually offer to you to take that video and create it with your information in it. We'll take when you watch the video, it says Eric Kurt, and it's got our upside down iceberg website information. But because you're part of our coaching program, we'll go ahead and change that and watermark it for your business as part of what we're doing for you. So you'll be able to utilize that to show businesses on how it can be used. How's that?
Right. So you can, right. So, and, right, because if you're, because you could use it to actually use Monster Follow-up, or to show, exactly, to show businesses how it can work for them.
Right, and we're going to be going in and setting up campaigns for that. And the cool thing is, I mean, if you were at the event and if you've gone into Monster Follow-up, they actually put together an entire campaign that you can go in and actually just change a few words in and really make it fit just about anything. I went through. It's meant for, it could be for carpet cleaning or auto repair or a florist. It could be, you name it, a roofer that we're looking at, or painters. Just about any business out there, you can go through and just change a few words and put a few things in there for the myths or misconceptions, and it works like a charm as far as the autoresponders that they already have set up in there. So that's one of the things that you'll be able to take out and start putting together, because it is a great tool and it's very, very underutilized because just not enough people know how to use it. And that's one of the things that we've sort of taken to task, is let's put something together so that people can actually see what it can be used for and do it in a way that that will be helpful. And that's what these cartoon pictures, you'll see these pictures again whenever you actually watch the video. But wait until we're finished before you go do that.
It doesn't matter because it's not available yet, even though it's processing.
I got a question that says, would you suggest using Monster Follow-up instead of Traffic Geyser to begin with? They can really be used in conjunction, because the mini site creator is made to go hand in hand with Monster Follow-up. It actually ties directly to Monster Follow-up for leads going into the mini site creators, and Traffic Geyser is what's going to drive traffic to Monster Follow-up. Someone else said, here's how awesome Monster Follow-up is. This was from Ed. Without your text message reminder to me about tonight's webinar, I wouldn't have joined.
All right. So, all right, I'm going to tell you. All right, I'm going to jump in on that. So last week we had a call, and on the call we had a bunch of people, and then Jody, in the middle of the call, leaves, right? He leaves in the middle of the call.
It wasn't the middle. It was about 20 minutes in.
He leaves, okay? And it's his turn to speak, by the way. I don't even know what he's supposed to say. And all of a sudden, he comes back and he goes, I forgot to send the text message out. Meanwhile, he could have programmed it to send out, but we're going to forget about that. He forgot to send the email back out. So, but 3 minutes after that, it doubled the amount of people on the call after he sent out the reminder. Was it a text or email? I don't even know. But after he sent the reminder out, it doubled the amount of people on the call. And so it's because of the reminder text messages, you could double the amount of people on the call. No one remembers. I mean, who remembers to go onto a webcast, in 2 days from now? But you get a text message, which everybody checks their text messages the second it goes off. And it's like, all of a sudden you pick your cell phone up and you're like, oh yeah, I got to do that. And then you go do that.
You know who else could use this?
That's my story.
You know who else could use this service? Right. I threw myself. I said it on the call. I said, if anyone's wondering why there's all those ding, 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 dings coming in the middle of the call, it's because I just sent the reminder out. The service that we're using tonight, GoToWebinar, could utilize that service, because I was supposed to be on a webinar with them today at 9:30 this morning, and guess what I didn't do? Because they sent me an email, they didn't send me a text, so I missed the webinar. I just didn't get on there. So
their mediocre service.
Right. Exactly. So here's the does MFU work with sites outside of Traffic Geyser? Do you have to? No, it works with. You go into Monster Follow-up. Every campaign you create, it automatically creates a lead capture form for you, and even a lead capture page. Now you can go in and customize that page to look like anything you want to. And you can ask more questions. If if it's for a business, that one of the examples was for someone that buys used cars. What's the year of your car? What's the make, the model, the VIN number? What condition is it in? And then they would put together a quote, and they'd send a text message after they fill that form out, and send a text message. Great, got your information. Your quote's ready. Give us a call at this number, and we'd be happy to review it with you. So the Monster Follow-up can work. It can work with any site outside of that. It's built in iframes, so you can take it just like you would take a YouTube video and embed it. You can embed the form just the same way. So you can use it with just about anything. And we use it as a standalone for lead capture pages, because It works great. Now, the one that we did for the Google Places video that most of you have seen was a monster follow-up lead capture page, and then the page that actually had the video on it was the thank you page inside of monster follow-up. So we didn't have to go anywhere or buy a website name or do anything. It was all self-contained right there, all in the same spot within monster follow-up. So what's next?
I don't know, because
you can't see it.
Sucks.
Now. All right. The next thing is what to say and when to say it. We're going to go through this a little quick because we do want to go through and answer all the questions because there are a couple more have come in here. And what to say and when to say it, one of the easiest ways and one of the ways that we constantly, we find ourselves as like, wow, things have kind of slowed down. I guess I need to go do some networking. So we go out and we network. And one of the thing that I do is I did this at the social media marketing event, and it's really the 4 questions that I ask, and then whenever they ask me what I do. And I'm going to role play that with Eric right now real quickly, and then I'm going to go into what we're going to have for you next week. So I'm at a networking event, and I come up and...
Hang on 1 second. I don't mean to interrupt.
But you do.
Yes, I do. All right, continue. I'm not going to. Go ahead.
All right. Oop, there we go. So... Who are you today, Eric? What are you at this business function?
I'm a roofer that just moved to Atlanta.
All right. So we go to at the networking. I go over and go. So I see your name. Hi there, Eric. How you doing today? So tell me, Eric, what do you do?
I build roofs.
That's interesting. How long have you done that?
Most of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, but almost.
So about how long?
Yes. Almost 17 years.
Wow. You must be really good at it.
I am one of the world's best roofers. If you look up and see a roof, there's a good chance I put it there.
Great. So let me ask you a question. Other than obviously anybody that lives in a house, how will I know if someone I'm talking to would be a good prospect for you?
Okay. Well, if you see someone walking in and they're wet because their house leaks, that would be a good lead for me.
Great. I appreciate that. And what would you ask me then?
What would be a good lead for you?
Well, usually they would ask, so what do you do?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know where you were at. I like the delay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you do?
Well, you know how these days most people have a website?
Yes, I do.
Well, that's great. Well, what I do is I help businesses that have a website by creating thousands of places online for people to find information to send them to that website.
Interesting. I have a website. That might be helpful.
I'm glad.
I love the delay. This delay is shenanigans.
Yeah, it really is.
God, my God, what a wonderful service this GoToWebinar is.
All right, so the bottom line is usually the other person would say, really, how do you do that? And I would explain, well, we do it. A normal person that was paying attention, right? And they go through, because someone asked on here, is he drinking? And I think they're talking about you, not me. All right, so the role play would go like that. So it's really making it so that whenever I'm looking at all the, yeah, she said, Eric, it's you. Now it's going to be me. In talking to them at the networking event, it's making it so that it's like a dance. You're sharing with them what you do and putting it in such a way that it causes them to ask the question, really, how do you do that? And what will happen is a lot of times whenever you say we do it with, they say, how do you do that? It's, well, we use videos and articles and social media sites, but we really create thousands of places online. And when they want more information, say, now's not really the time to get into that, but I'd love to have a conversation, actually learn a little bit more about your business and how we might be able to help each other. And you set the appointment, and believe it or not, they will show up, and you'll be able to take that. Now, they may not turn into a client every time, but the fact is that it will get you better at asking the questions and getting it to the point where you move forward towards that client. I mean, the first client we got was a $5,000 client. We want to make this so that you're making that much with each client and more. We want you to surpass us by working with us in our coaching program. We want to make it so that you can take the information that we've used, the steps that we've already gone through and make it so that you can springboard and move yourself way past what we've been able to do, because the tools that you have available now, we didn't have. They weren't even available back in November whenever we went in and started putting the stuff together for the launch. You have so much stuff and so many tools right now that are really just going to make it so easy for you to go out there and put phenomenal campaigns together for people that it's just, I wish that I could roll back and have the tools that you have now. It's just, I don't know if I'm said that enough or passionate enough about it, but I'm going to open this up in just a second. Next week, we're going to Greta Schultz. She's the author of To Sell is Not to Sell. It's Stop Selling and Stop Making Money. She is phenomenal. She travels all over the country. She gets paid $5,000 an hour to do speaking engagements for exactly what she's going to do for us. So we're real privileged to have her, and believe it or not, I was able to trade her for me doing a webcast for her about social media. So there you go. That we're going to have her in here. If you are not a member of our coaching program and you want to be, and you want to get in on this and be able to continue to partake in these webcasts, you can go to marketingmachinescoaching.com. It should be on the bottom of your screen there, and it has the details for our group coaching and also for our private coaching. And our private coaching, you're able to have time specifically one-on-one with us each week, where we'll go through your plan for the week, and also you'll be the first whenever we roll out our fulfillment package that we'll be testing our fulfillment services with whenever we get that rolled out here in just a short time. So it's marketingmachinescoaching.com. And the thing is one of the things people made fun of us, there's other people out there that have coaching programs and they're very good. And one of the things that we offered that none of them did is a 30-day money-back guarantee. And that's because if you don't feel like you've got your money's worth in the first 30 days, I want you to all your money back. I want you to, if you haven't got all your value in the first 30 days, please ask for your money back, because that's how comfortable and confident we are that we're going to help you take this and make this business successful for you. So with that, I want to go through the rest of these questions. And it says, is this being recorded and available to us for review? Yes, it will be available. We'll send, once it's done being recorded. I think I missed like the first 5 minutes of it, but then just we got it recorded, and we'll be sending a link out for that. Let me go back through all the way, to the beginning here, and just make sure we've covered everyone's questions. How do you get businesses? Have you requested a postcard?
While Jody's doing that, a couple things. First of all, the monster follow-up video that we were talking about is up and available on our Facebook fan page, upsidedowniceberg.com. So if you want to see what we're referring to, because, again, GoToWebinar doesn't let us play video. Actually, it does let us play video, but it's choppy and sounds terrible. And but besides that, it's available on our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/upsidedowniceberg.
Correct.
Second, just so you know, I can't see anything. I can't control the computer screens, and everything that I do is delayed 3 seconds. So it's impossible to run this silly little program here.
All right.
So if there's any questions, you're going to
Sure.
them out.
Absolutely. Another question we have is, does Monster Follow-Up effectively replace Aweber, etc.?
Ooh, that's a
We
haven't replaced it.
Right.
We haven't replaced it yet.
Right. The thing is that it has the right fit for the right application for being able to track leads for a mini site campaign. It's very good. We used it for putting this together because we knew we wanted to be able to text message. It depends on if the list that you're building is one that you're going to want to be able to communicate via text. If it is, then Monster Follow-Up is definitely the way to go. If it's strictly building like an internet marketing email list, we still use Aweber for that. It's just because the thing with Monster Follow-Up that if it's strictly for email sign-ups, it doesn't have a double opt-in feature, and that's something that actually have a conversation with Oliver about to find out why they don't have that and what's going to happen when they're going to get that in place, because it's really built more for a follow-up campaign that uses email and text messaging and obviously voice messaging. So it's powerful in the one sense, but if it's strictly for an internet marketing type campaign, we still use Aweber rather. So that's the short answer. Let's see. Can you put the link to the video on your fan page? Yes, we will do that. It sucks playing video on GoToWebinar. Yes, Ed, it does suck playing video on GoToWebinar. All right, here's one from Christine. What is social oomph? Do you want to answer that, or you want me to?
Okie dokie. Okay, Social Oomph is a platform that lets you do a whole bunch of things, such as on Twitter, it lets you automatically follow people, automatically sets up tweets, automatically preload bunches of tweets together, automatically post your Facebook posts ahead of time. And so it lets you organize and set up a lot of your social media campaigns ahead of time, all in one location. So so not only does you can go on one place, set up stuff, organize all your social media stuff, but preload it all ahead of time. So as well as blog posts, by the way, so that you don't have to go and go on Twitter and do one thing, go on Facebook, do another thing, go on Ping and do another thing, go on your blog and do it again. So it helps you organize it all at once.
And it also allows you to do bulk uploads, and it's one of the only ones that we have found that you can do that, and it doesn't screw it up, basically.
Right. So and by bulk upload, what he means is, so you can go in like a Microsoft Word document, really, and then convert it, blah blah. But and type in all your blog posts or all your text, all your tweets in a Word document. You need to convert it to text document, and then upload it all at once, so you don't have to go one and then the next one, then the next one. So you can do it all in one document and then bulk upload it.
Right. Also, that's the Market Me suite inside of Social Media Marketing Machines. Is it comparable to Social Oomph? And the answer to that question is yes. And the question, do we use Market Me suite? The answer to that question is not at this time, just simply because with the number of clients that we already have in Social Oomph, it's just we're not ready to make that transition at the time. We're working with it and testing it, but we're still we need to make sure, because I mean, I love Traffic Geyser. They have great tools, although they gave us Tweet Geyser, and within a month it went away. So I'm not ready to move all of our clients over to another program that until it's been tried and true and tested. We're using it with test cases and with some of our smaller accounts, but we're not moving all. I mean, we have Twitter accounts with thousands and thousands of followers that we aren't going to kind of take a chance with right now of moving those over into a brand new program until it's tried and true and tested. So, and that's something that if everyone from Traffic Geyser was on the call, I'd say the same thing. And it's just that it's how it is. It's a great program. It does a lot more than Social Oomph does. I mean, you can go in and with Market Me Suite, you can, if someone asks a question, you can tag the question with a different color so that your client, when you give them access to the account, your client knows that that's a question that they need to answer. So it's a very powerful tool that does a lot more stuff than Social Oomph does. It's just we just haven't made the transition yet. So hopefully that answers the question. We're not saying there's nothing wrong with Market Me Suite. It's a great tool. It's very powerful. We just haven't completely moved. All right. Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. There was one more thing up here. As I was waiting to see if somebody raised their hand, I wanted to do the unmute button, but nobody raised their hand, so I haven't been able to. Oh, Bruce walks. Scott raised his hand, but then it went away. Let's see. There it is. Let me unmute Scott. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I am there.
All right.
So I guess my first question is this really a live webinar or?
Yes, this is really a live. It's really a live webinar, and the reason he asked that is because we have simulated live webinars for how to make money with social media that people go to and watch after they see our social media marketing in 3 minutes video. So
you guys really, I want to follow. I'm totally on your team. I hope you know that. But the webinar functions, is that a real a tool that you're making money with, or are you angling that way, or is it just for
Yes.
kicking indoors? Or?
No. It's, I mean, there are people that go there, watch that, and then they go from there. It converts them over into our social media product, and we convert them into clients from there.
Jody,
So,
do you guys provide that service to your clients if they want to use that for their prospects?
yes, we do actually. And a matter of fact, I had a conversation just actually this week with someone who's in the financial services realm, specifically about Monster Follow-Up with the simulated live webcast. And so yes, we are offering that to our clients. We also have a professional golf instructor who we're putting webcasts together for as well. So it's a powerful tool. And I mean, TV time costs a lot of money these days, but you can have a simulated live webcast. You can run a 15-second commercial and send somebody to one. I mean, it's amazing the things that you can actually do with it. But yeah, I appreciate that. So tell me, Scott, you've been with us for a while. How have you found working with us and what you've been able to go out and do with social media marketing machines?
Very, very glad that I bought the social media marketing machines through you guys, because there's just an extra level of parallel competence, I guess. You guys have been in the same pool swimming, but you have a lot of extra things you can share. I mean, anybody who's thinking about getting into some coaching, from what I've seen already, jumping over to your site, a very reasonable price compared to some of the things that, some of the other, things that are 25 times as much out there. So, yeah, I can definitely see working with you guys for the long haul is going to be very, very fun and
Great.
profitable. So.
Appreciate that, Scott. All right. Let me see if anyone else raised their hand, if anyone else was brave enough. Now that I figured out I can unmute people. Come on, somebody else, raise your hand. I want to unmute you. All right. So I have a question here. The simulated webinars, are they done with Monster Follow-Up? The answer to that question is yes. It is done through Monster Follow-Up, and it works like a charm. You can set it to play every day of the week, every hour. Or you can set it to so that it's on demand. And it's phenomenal in the way that it's set up, and we still, I mean, we've had one that's been running now for a couple of months, and we still get people who send us emails saying, that webcast was awesome, did you by any chance record it? Actually, yes, we did. 2 months ago we recorded that for you. So it really does work great. All right, it's going to go ahead, unless you got something else, I'm going to mute you back out, because I'm hearing
awesome.
I'm hearing a back feed there. So.
Okay.
All right.
Like
Thank you.
video that he could feel free to like.
Right. Cool. All right. So you there, Eric?
I am here.
All right. Very good. Okay. So I don't see anyone else with their hand raised, and I said next time I'm going to give Eric the controls. Either that, or we're going to have Tracy in here and have her run the controls. So with that being said, so the video is up on the fan page now.
Videos up on the fan page about Monster Follow-Up and what it could do. If you, so if someone watches it and they like it, feel free to hit the like button.
Yeah.
Of all the advantages that does for us. If you're on this coaching call and you're not currently a coaching client and would like to be, Jody, what is the next steps for that?
You ask. Actually, we did have a question. What are your package prices? When you go to the marketingmachinescoaching.com, which is right down at the bottom of the screen over there, it'll show you our group coaching, which is going to be it's a 10-week session or 10-week course. That is $997. Our private coaching, which includes the group coaching as well as an individual private call with us each week to go through the planning, that is $3,000, or I'm sorry, $29.97, or 3 easy payments of $9.99. Yeah, I think the other one breaks down to like $332.23 or something crazy. It's whatever $9.97 divided by 3 comes out to be. So that's the cost on the coaching. And like I said, we own it for a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can go out and close. I mean, for the first month, you could go close a.
Wait. So what do we decide for the Google? Oh, so Google Places. Ready for this?
Yeah.
This was our invention. So what do you think they should charge for a Google Places?
I think they should charge $666. 667.
Yeah, well, no, 666.
Yeah, that scares you, not me. Yeah.
Right, yeah, me neither. And why would that be?
That would be because you can take half of it and put it in your pocket, and the other half pays for your first month of the group coaching. So there you have it. I have another question. How do you price your services to prospects? And that's kind of a complicated question. We're actually going to get into that as we go. It's part of our one-page contract. Just very plain and simple. Our minimum contract that we utilize, and so in our last call we said we do 4 things. We do videos. Basically, we do the question and answer traffic geyser, traffic magnet videos. We do articles. We set up a Facebook page for them and populate that. And we also create a Twitter account and get targeted Twitter followers for them, as well as building a lead capture strategy for their website. And for that, our package price is $58.75 is the minimum that we charge, and then $9.75 a month going forward. So that's how we price our services, because we do other things for clients, like we actually build information products and do information product marketing for some of our clients. Greta, one of the reasons, we put together an information product for her. We have a professional golfer, Wayne Player, his dad is Gary Player, that we're working on a site for right now. Also, John Heffron is Eric's friend. He was the winner of Last Comic Standing. So we build video information product platforms for people as well, utilizing Kajabi. A lot of people find us because we have a testimonial there. So the way we price it, though, our basic social media marketing machine package, our basic price is $58.75 to set everything up, and we take 60 days to do that. And we also have an exact step-by-step, day-by-day package for exactly what we do each day of the 60 days to set up their campaign. And we've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and it works. I mean, the 60-day process works like a charm. You don't get caught. You don't get behind. You know on day 22 what you're supposed to be doing, as well as you know on day 42 where you're at, and if you're getting behind, or what you need to have happening in order to be able to do that. I have a question. Do you update tweets, Facebook posts, and blogging daily? The answer to that question is yes. We update. We don't actually do blogging. We just haven't. It's just one of the things that we haven't found to be as successful for us. What?
We probably should more often.
But we just found that blogging, we just haven't done it. We probably should, but we've been so successful and so busy just doing videos and articles on Twitter and Facebook. Yes, we use the Social.wmv program, and what we do is we have a system that we utilize for Twitter, and what we call is attraction marketing with that. Instead of just pushing stuff up, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Here's my link. Go to my site. Go to my site. Go to my site, which gets annoying and is very spammy. What we do is we put information out there that they'll find useful that has nothing to do with them selling a product. We put out a quote, and we'll put out a link to a video or some useful information, and we'll put out a tip, something that they can use, something that's in the industry or an opinion about something. And we usually do about 3 postings a day on Twitter, and usually about 1 posting a day on Facebook for our clients. And we found that to be, does enough without being overbearing. And if they have special promotions or something, and we work something out where we'll push more stuff out, or we'll do a little bit more push marketing. But for the most part, we try to keep it balanced around 3 tweets a day and 1 posting on Facebook, and that tends to keep the steady increase in followers, as well as have a steady stream of people actually clicking on the links and going to the sites. It says, will we get the 60-day action plan as part of the group coaching? Yes, absolutely. Matter of fact, as soon as you purchase the group coaching, we give you access to the site that you saw a little earlier on the screen. It has our success formula with all of our sales training videos. It has the 60-day action plan, our 1-page proposal, our contracts, every piece of content that we utilize for filling our contracts, we put that in there. Is there a 3-payment option? Yes, actually that's all there is a 3-payment option. There's 3 payments to get to the $9.97, or 3 payments to get to the $29.97. All right, let's see. Let me go back through here. And go back to, let's see, how do you, let's see, update Get that. Are you guys always this awesome? Absolutely. Sometimes we're even, what's the
Who is
word,
that?
Eric? That was Christine Chase. She's my new best friend. I like Christine.
Go like something on her page or
I
something,
will.
man.
I'll go find that. And Carrie Davis says, do you do that or does your staff do that? I am not going to unmute Tracy because she will tell you that we don't do anything. She does it all. Matter of fact, we should probably have her do the traffic geyser training because I'm not sure I even remember how to log in. But yeah, the thing is yeah, our Tracy is absolutely awesome. She does the work of about 3 people around here for us. But she takes care of all the postings, the traffic geyser stuff, and does a ton of the work for us. How do we find Tracy? We keep her locked away. Actually, it's where do you get the content for Facebook and Twitter from? Good question. A lot of times we ask the client for the information, but that seems to be the hardest place to get it from. So what we do is we actually outsource a lot of that. We come up with what we want the information of the tweets to be about, or the information for Facebook. With Facebook, it's a little easier because you can post a video one day, and then you can post a link to something somewhere else the next day. We also get a lot of information, and you might want to write this down. It's a website called stuff2tweet.com. It's a great site. There's a lot of stuff on there, and there's things on there from Twitter, from Facebook, from YouTube, from Dig, Delicious, from Craigslist. Those you probably don't want to post on anyone's Facebook or Twitter, but it has a ton of great information. And also another site is called Alltop. It's Guy Kawasaki's site. It's alltop.com, and that's all the top stories of the things that are trending in social media. So those are two great places to get information.
But all the really, really good stuff is next week.
Yeah.
The
secret sauce is next week. So
the secret button which gives you all the good traffic geyser listings, and the easy button which they put on the secret traffic geyser page, which we didn't tell you about.
Right. Then I'll also someone said, how do we find your Facebook page? It is Upside Down Iceberg, and iceberg is with a B-E-R-G. So it's Upside Down Iceberg is our Facebook fan page, and we'll post this. So repeat those sites. We'll post those. It's again, it's stuff2tweet.com and alltop.com are the sites. Do you start to charge for the legacy fee after 30 or 60 days? After we start charging for that after the 60-day setup. So we charge the $58.75 for the setup, and then after the 60 days is when we start. We collect the money the first day of the month, so it's on day 61 is when we collect the legacy fee. Do you use any type of contest apps or Facebook apps to help clients build up fans and likes? Actually, we utilize the 2-step Facebook page, and also another bit of good news. If anyone's noticed that the Facebook hook isn't all that, again, they are coming out with a new Facebook hook that is absolutely awesome. It's going to have like 6 different templates. It's going to have 3 different 2-stage opt-in sites, one where you can like the page and then also where you put an email in. But they're going to be absolutely awesome, which is and it's all built in iframes so that it works like a charm. It's so easy to use. You'll be liking that. It should be coming out. I was talking with Kevin Barnes with the dev team with Traffic Geyser. He said that should be coming out hopefully, he said, by the 1st of the month. So if it's not out this week, it should hopefully be out next week. So, but no, we have not. We don't really use the contest apps. We really have gotten the most results for our clients, and we do Facebook because everybody wants it. We've really gotten a lot of great results for our clients with Twitter, and we're able to drive traffic with that. Let's see. On Google Places, should we go after just one business to help in this top 7? I'm sorry, should we go just one or just one, since the goal is to get to the first position? With that, I would say that I would start with one, but there's no harm in working with a couple because there's 7 places. You don't promise them the first spot. You promise to keep them on the first page with Google Places. So it would probably be, if you look at the painter in Atlanta, I think that's an example of someone, because it looks like the same person did all of those, and I think that would that would be fine to do it. I probably wouldn't do more than 3, but I'd do at least 3. Let's see. Do you give exclusivity for 5875? If they're a local area client, yes. Because if it's I mean, we don't put it in there. We don't put it in writing that it's exclusivity. We let them know that out of fairness that we won't work with another client, but we don't sign anything that limits our ability. But it's just
define. Let's go. We'll discuss that a second. Define exclusivity. So will we work with another lawyer if we do a lawyer? Will we work? What do you mean by that?
I would have to unmute Christine and let her answer that. Is that okay?
No, I'm not. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Like for exclusivity, if someone's let's say we worked with a lawyer, we wouldn't work with another personal injury lawyer in that city, but there's in West Palm Beach, but we might work with one in Palm Beach Gardens. So
yes.
That type in that industry. So we would work with another divorce attorney in West Palm Beach and the personal injury attorney in West Palm Beach. Like,
right.
So it's not like
for instance,
is that your question, Christine?
Yeah, she said only working with one client in that industry. It's in that industry, it's in that profession, really, in that profession in that town. Because if it's a dentist, that doesn't mean that we won't do an orthodontist, because a lot of times, a lot of times dentists don't do orthodontics. So it kind of gets to semantics, but we don't want to compete with ourselves. So because it wouldn't be doing us any good or them. So if it's a divorce attorney in West Palm Beach, we will not do another divorce attorney in West Palm Beach. But in reality, we've only had that question one time, and it was with a personal injury attorney, and all we were doing for him was videos, and we told him no, that we would not have, absolutely not would we give him exclusivity for just doing videos for him. So that's
right. Unless if they had you under contract and were paying you monthly is one thing, but to film one time and never work with another one.
All right. Then the question, do you use many sites for your clients? I noticed that you don't use it for your own core site. That's because you have to remember in this is the many sites were just made available to us the same time that they were made available to you. We didn't have them available, so some of our new clients were starting to use them. Our core site, that's been out there. Eric built that, what, 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, and so it's. I mean, we have a mini site that's built out that doesn't have upside down iceberg on it, but we built things. We didn't have the tools that you have today, so.
What's the most value of a mini site? It's not always necessarily to build is not to build a full-blown website for a client.
Right. It's to develop a lead capture mechanism. It's specifically for lead capture is what a mini site is for, and it's really powerful if someone doesn't have a site. But even if it's an account, let's say that it's an accountant, if you put together a mini site for them and put on, if you're in Nashville, let's say, and you put Nashville, you go out and get the domain Nashville Accountant, and we'll go into a little later in the program a super formula for using the mini site specifically for going out and closing business with a mini site for something you already have built. We have a guy in the UK who's doing that right now, who's having phenomenal success with it. But it's really made to give them another way of driving traffic and bringing leads in. It's also a good way whenever you use the mini sites, because you can specify the phone number through Monster Follow-Up for you to know exactly how many phone calls are coming in. Whenever you frame your videos for specifically that website with that phone number, you're able to show them exactly how many calls have come because of what the work that you've done for them. Let's see. I have an exclusive client in industry in a market area, but my monthly fee is 4 times higher than that. Good. That's what we said. That's great. I hope everybody's prices are higher than ours. How do we help an international account? Do we keyword them within each city they are in? Typically, what we have done with international accounts, we've really worked more with national accounts. Our international accounts were specific to an area, like when they had a ski resort in Canada that had some
international account. It was Canada.
It was Canada. Oh well, that's international. It's not in this country.
This foreign country with this crazy currency.
Right. So that's more than ours. So, yeah, Scott says,
does anyone on the call speak Canadian? Anybody?
Right. So Do we keyword them within each city they are in? That's going to get to be very tough. I think really what you want to do is go more for look more for long tail keywords for what they are, what they sell, or what their service is. So, for instance, working with a client that puts out business books that are in the form of a cartoon or comics. Working with them, what you would do is, instead of, because people don't know that there are business books that are made into cartoons or comics, you have to look for what would someone be looking for that would come across that. It would be like executive book summaries or something like that. So working with an international account is looking for what are the long tail keywords that you can compete for that will still get the attention of people looking for that, and you'd be surprised. We had a lighting client that said that they wanted to be, I was doing the keyword research, and one of the terms they were looking for was bathroom vanity light is what they wanted to be ranked for. But the problem with bathroom vanity light is it had every other lighting company wanted to be listed for bathroom vanity light, and it had 5 million results or something like that. And if you just put in vanity light or bathroom light, they both got actually more searches and had like less than a quarter of the competition. So it's doing the keyword research to finding the areas that where people are looking for the information about their product or service that don't just come to mind right off the bat, because there are people out there looking for a lot of things that you'd be surprised how long the keywords will get. That's a very, very long answer for that short little question, but that's my answer. Hoslin says, "You guys are the bomb. Can you do the rope trick again?" Yes. Do it right now, Eric. Now it's on.
If you want.
Now it's off. All right.
Unbelievable. So I just wanted to one more time thank everybody who's come out here, spending your time, an exciting Tuesday night here with us. If you're interested in our coaching program and you have not signed up, don't worry. We have a space available for you, but you just got to go to marketingmachinescoaching.com. If you want to watch that video and wants your follow-up on what it can do for you, it's at facebook.com /upside down iceberg. Yes,
right.
Jody?
Yeah, I was going to say some of the things I said that are in there that we're going to kind of go over it again, and this is the little pitchy part. So if you're done, that's fine. But I just feel it would be a disservice if we didn't go into the things the links that we're going to go to make sure that was what we want to do is when next time they have a Traffic Geyser event, which is going to be pretty soon, we want some of you to be so successful that you're the ones that are selected to be called upon to give testimonials about the things that you've been able to do. There's already some great comments on there. I mean, people that are charging 4 times what we do for their monthly legacy plan. That's the kind of stuff that we love. That's the kind of things that Traffic Geyser wants to hear. That's the things that are going to that's what this whole thing is about. These are great tools. And the thing is so many people buy this stuff and they just don't take it and put it to use and utilize it. And we're proof. A year ago, whenever we bought Main Street Marketing Machines and we saw the videos, and it's like, oh man, that should be us up there on that stage. And here we are, a year later, we were the guys up there on the stage. And it wasn't something that we thought about every day, but it was just the intention that we set. And we wanted to make sure with this that the information is there. And I think that the people that bought through our link that had access to our social media snowball program, which is another program, we had information there for them. A lot of them have gone out. Scott, that you heard from earlier, I know he's done 3 or 4 deals that are over $5,000 and has a couple of large things that are coming up that he's going to absolutely blow out of the water with some experts and some authors and an entire medical facility chain up in the Michigan area. So. And Vinny that's on here, he's closed a couple of deals that are over 5,000. So it's doable. You can do it. You can get there. We've been there. We've done it, and we just feel like it's time to help other people. And we want to make sure that you get way more out of it than what this is going to do for you. The thing is, no matter what you do something. Do something. Take the things and put it to use. This business is doable. It is workable. The tools work. You just have to work them. And so with that, I think we're about 10 minutes past time. I'm not going to tell people all these things that y'all are saying about how nice Eric is and how good he is, but it said that We're awesome. Thanks for the information. That was all. That's all my part. But anyway, so and it says, and of course, then they put both of you.
Good thing Eric can't read the signs.
Yeah.
Good thing Eric can't read these messages.
I'm not going to ever let him see them. Next time, I think I've changed my mind. He's never going to get access to this stuff. I'm just going to keep all this to myself. I said, Eric has great hair. Who knows? You've never seen Eric's hair. He wears a hat. That's why he wears a hat. I got more hair than Eric does. So anyway, but thanks so much for being on here. I hope you've gotten value out of this. I hope that you can take some of the things that we've talked about tonight and take them and put them into action. As soon as the replay is available, I'll send out something to everyone who was on here, because I want you to be able to, whether you choose to do coaching with us or not, that's fine. It's okay. If it's as I tell every person that I meet, if you decide this isn't a fit, that's okay. If you decide that it is a fit, we're excited to have you with the program. We're excited to be working with you, and we look forward to seeing all of you again in the near future. And we just want you to be happy.
Except one of you, and you know who you are.
That's right. The one person that we don't like that's on here. All right.
We're just kidding.
Great. So with that, if nobody else has their hand raised, I only got to undo one person. That really, this thing's no.
And it was Scott.
It was Scott. Great.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot. Hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. Take care.
Wait.
What?
Maybe same channel. Unless we switch off, go to webinar.
Yeah. If Eric's found another one, I can't do anything technical, so he's taking it over. All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
See ya.
And girls. See ya.